What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and today we are back at it again. You see the title and the thumbnail, all of that jazz. We got the patch notes, baby. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight, the unfolding story with the theme of what if has gathered heroes living different lives with alternative story. We introduced the December update in celebration of the release of Marvel Studios' What If Season 2. Hela, who rules the realm of the death of Asgard, has become stronger with the Tier 4 advancement. Wenwu has the experienced master of the 10 rings has gained the powers of Tier 3, along with the new Mohawk hero Kahhori, who has gained power through the Tesseract. And new uniforms have been added for Hela, Wenwu, and Nebula. No mention of Nebula and the Nova Corps and none of that stuff, right? Yaka Arrow, Yondu. But yeah, various improvements such as the addition of new comic cards that will enhance new heroes' abilities and story fragment conversion system where story fragments can be used more effectively have been made. So don't miss out, definitely. That story fragment forming conversion, that is a huge win. So we got Kahhori right here, and you will be able to unlock her via the event battle stage that's coming to the game. But this is going to be a limited time event, so you want to make sure you get it in if you want to get her for free.
Thanks for the good news.
Otherwise, you're going to be doing the 30 bio dailies or the special daily growth support, or through a premium fashion like a premium hero chest or something like that.
How much for the camera?
$100.
$100? All right, you little crook. Here. What the?
Films extra.
He's gonna come human, female, superhero blast tag, and also the energy projection, fast movement, and cosmic cube. That's a new tag right there. She's gonna have a justice instinct with 45% increase of energy defense as the leadership. That's not really good right there, but her passive looks like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be increased damage dealt to targets with remove all debuff effect, and increased damage dealt to targets with debuff removal instinct.
Man. Wow, man, freaked out.
By 50% each. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this interaction is gonna be with the game. Could be interesting, has implication for PvP, has some implication for PvE, as most of the bosses have debuff removal by default. We're gonna have to see how that works. She's also gonna have some dodge rate increase by 30%, 55% increase of energy attack, super armor, and increase all basic defense by 40%. On the Tesseract power 4-star passive. Then she's gonna have some stun, some silence on the 1, stun, silence, and panic on the 2. I think Man Thing brought this ability into the game. You're also gonna have a 7-hit barrier for 5 seconds. They're bringing back barriers. I don't know. BBB, bring back barriers. And we're also gonna have some silence, incapacitation, paralysis, and all defense down with a 30% heal on the 3. With a 60%, 60-30 frenzy buff. So 60% all attack, all defense, and 30% crit rate for 6 seconds on the 13-second cooldown. So that seems like it might be pretty proc friendly. It's also gonna have some stun and silence, incapacitation, and paralysis on the 4 with some damage immunity, another frenzy buff of 60% all attack and 30% all defense. And then on the 5th skill, some more stun, incapacitation, panic, and paralysis with some invincibility for 6 seconds on a 16-second cooldown with a 100% damage proc. So Kahhori looks to be decently proc friendly. And like I said, the interesting thing about her is going to be this Hero's Decree passive, a superhero ally. Moving right on in on the uniforms. First up, we got Hela, and she's going to be a 1050 cost uniform. Still going to retain the evil and the command tag, universal super villain. And starting off, she's going to get ignore target dodge rate by 20%. So I do believe they're bumping this up for the ignore dodge. I don't think the ignore dodge was there at all. And she's also retaining a 60% increased energy attack. The increased guaranteed dodge rate is coming up from 15% to 30%. And then she's got the super armor and increase all basic defenses by 40% and decrease basic damage received by 30% is still there, along with the 50% all resistance. And she does have the increased chain hit already, along with the 30% guaranteed dodge rate. She's got some silence and fracture. She's also has some deals. They're actually changing the two. Old second skill, she actually had decrease all basic attack, decrease all basic defenses, and decrease all resist by 15, 20, and 40% on a 1 second refreshing cooldown for as long as the skill was hitting. It wound up adding up to like 4 or 5 seconds. So that's kind of huge. I don't know how much that's going to play in because you do have a lot of debuff removal type stuff in the game now. So it may just be better as far as a ABX sort of thing or ABL sort of thing for them to give her the burn and the fracture and the silence and all of this stuff. She is retaining the counterattack for the third skill. So that's actually really nice. So still a lot of PvP implication in this kit as well. She still has the 100% chance for the immunity. The damage accumulation is remaining the same. Increase all basic attack by 15% for 1% of pure damage received, and accumulates pure damage up to 15% of max HP. She also has the earn, stun, and silence on the 4 with some all defense down. 10 hit barrier and increase skill damage and bonus damage by 25 and 20% for 8 seconds. They're also bumping up her heal, and I believe they're actually moving. It used to be on the 4th skill and it was 15%, and now it used to be split between the 4th and the 5th skill. And now they're dumping it all into the 5th skill.
We have here is a failure to communicate with the young folk and the older folk. Is that what it is? That what?
Also increasing her cooldown times. So be wary of that. Not sure if this uniform is going to be more PvP or PvE centric. Next up, we got my guy Wenwu, 1050 cost uniform with the 1515. The agility and the evil tag. He's going to have the male cruelty, human blast supervillain. The uniform effect is going to be the 15% chain hit, a 5% when attacking, and increase basic damage received or decrease basic damage received by 30%. So the 5% chain hit, they really could have done a lot better with. Moving right along, we got Wenwu coming in as blast supervillain, so he's retaining that. Human male with the cruelty tag, and he's also going to have the evil and the agility tags. Now, at first look, I'm kind of on the fence about Wenwu's uniform. I got to be completely honest here. Got the increased chain hit by 5% when attacking. That's really, really small, although I think they might be mitigating that because he has so many hits on his skills. He does have the decreased basic damage received by 30%. Also going to get the super armor, increase all basic defenses by 30%, skill damage, bonus damage by 45-25, and his leadership is going to be a 30% of increase of HP for supervillain allies. I really wish they had bumped that up. Like, come on guys, y'all got to do better with the leadership sometimes. And then,
are we being too literal?
No, you fool. We're following orders. We were told to comb the desert, so we're combing it.
Found anything yet?
Not a thing, sir!
What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
he's got stun on the 1, nothing on the 2. He's got 10 ring whirlpool as a remove active buff from target with all defense down that goes up to 50% and a 25% heal. I think it came up from 15%. And then he's got some more all defense down on the 4 with a frenzy buff, 60% 35%, which is huge, but he does have that already. So what are they really doing? And then he also has 80% chance to penetrate with 5 seconds of invincibility with some stun and silence. So yeah, pretty meh when you're looking at Wenwu compared to what he already has in his kit. They're actually taking some stuff away because he has stun on the one already. That's not carrying over. Oh, the stun is carrying over. He has kind of a charge attack on the 3 with a 15% heal that sort of got removed. They didn't add anything to the second skill. I just feel like they left a lot of meat on the bone when it comes to Wenwu. The onlyest thing I can be thinking is they're waiting to drop this dude's old school Mandarin with the actual 10 rings, like they go on your fingers, not on your shoulder, not on your arms. It ain't a cuff link. You know, so that's the only thing that I can be thinking about when it comes to Wenwu. So yeah, I mean, the skills look dope, don't get me wrong, but the uniform is gonna have to be packing a lot. Otherwise, it's probably going to be a hard pass for most players.
I bet you it ain't shit in there.
And last but not least, the one that I think people are the most interested in, I know I certainly am, one for, oh, they're changing her to a superhero.
Just bring it!
So they did change her typing from supervillain. So she's gonna have the alien female destruction, weapons master, machine tag. So she's got some versatility in her kit as far as the buffs that are available to her.
Who in the blue hell are you?
She can take full advantage of Taskmaster, Blade, or any of the machine buffs that are offered from any of the machine types like War Machine, Hulkbuster, any of them. For the uniform effect, she's getting increased guaranteed critical rate by 15%, and then they're switching all of her damage from lightning damage to what it is now to fire damage. Most of the percentages are either staying the same or they're getting raised by like 5 or 10%. Got the increased guaranteed dodge rate by 35%. Got the increased fire damage by 25%. And skill damage, bonus damage by 32 and 15%, which is already what she has now with the old in-game on the tier 2 passive. And then she has Stunning Grace as the 4-star passive. Deals additional, chance to deal additional when attacking 5%, deals additional 30% fire damage every second for 5 seconds on a 5-second cooldown. And she's got the somersault arrow, which offers stun and fire damage, paralysis, and fire damage on the second skill. The Yaka Twister has silence, a 30% heal on a 15-second cooldown. And then we got Blazing Arrow, which is on a 15-second cooldown as well. It has 65% frenzy buff for attack and defense with 25% on the crit rate, 100% chance for damage immunity, and decrease of fire resist, so fire all defense down. And it also has some more all defense down on the 5th skill with 5 seconds of invincibility, 65% attack buff, and paralysis. So hopefully she can come in and do something to shake up ABX a little bit. It's not going to be as much as what we thought it was because they're changing her tag from super villain to superhero. So that's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to wait and see how that's going to shake out. Yeah. And for Hela's tier 4 skill, she's going to get a frenzy buff of 30%, 40%, and 10% for the all attack, all defense, and all speed respectively. And she's also going to get when Striker skill is used to self increase all basic attacks by 70%, 7 seconds. And then we also have Wenwu, leader of the 10 rings. The formidable presence hidden in the shadows has received a tier 3 advancement. So we got what his tier 3 is looking like. It actually looks pretty dope as far as the animation goes. And we also got stun, incapacitation, paralysis, and all defense down on the skill. We also got ignore target dodge rate by 80%. And it has 8 seconds of invincibility with a 50% attack buff. And then we got Katie, Lincoln Campbell, and Kahhori sharing an awakened skill. We got the Mohawk Wrath, the Arrow Spree, Electric Shock Wave, and all of these awakened skills as far as damage and buffs are pretty much the same. Everything else is pretty much identical, and the skill animations are usually pretty generic, so I really don't get into them that tough. But yeah, not bad. 167 hits, 168, 168. And we also got the new comic card collection. Now, 5 new comic cards with the theme of what if have been added to the game. Collect these comic cards with powerful options to upgrade to mythic. So what's important about following comic cards can be acquired through the stored dimension chest comic card after the December update maintenance. And the premium card can be acquired with the comic card exchange tokens. So we are going to be able to get this thing with just tokens from the shop, and it's actually doesn't look like it's a bad card. You got energy attack, physical attack, all defense with the increase all basic attack proc, and it's all attack. It's not energy attack and it's not physical attack. It's all attack. So that's actually pretty dope. For the 4th slot with attack speed, physical defense, energy defense, and poison resist. So pretty good optionals there. We got crit rate, recovery rate, and crit damage on the 5th slot. So pretty good optionals there. And then for the last one, we got cooldown duration, dodge, ignore defense, movement speed, and lightning resist. This isn't a bad card. This is something that I could see a lot of people actually use in a high level sort of roster, high level balanced sort of roster. I could definitely see it maybe taking the place of or being used in conjunction with Guardians of the Galaxy Best Story Ever or something along those lines. So, and I'm actually really loving the Flash Thompson card. I just like the look of it. And for a free-to-play card, it's really not that bad. You got physical attack and crit damage in the main slot. You got some physical attack proc on there, and HP and crit rate. I'm really not feeling this. You got a lot of good stats there in the same slot that you would actually want to be kind of spread out. But then you got energy attack that you can roll down here at the bottom, and it already has physical. You don't have an all attack. Yeah, and you got all attack in the 3rd slot, cooldown in the 4th slot. So you could actually roll this thing to be a pretty decent card. Usable definitely. The others, not so much. You got cooldown duration and physical defense, and then you got crowd control time and energy defense for the Thor card and the Punisher card. And then for magic, you got energy attack and ignore defense. Not a bad card. It does have the energy attack proc, max HP, and all attack and physical attack in the 3rd option. So I'm really not feeling that. And that's sort of the problem here is with the 3rd option bonus. Otherwise, you could maybe make this work if you put some all defense there. If they had fire resist in the 5th option, that would actually kind of work, because then you could roll this thing for having to deal with Mephisto or something like that. If you need the cooldown duration, you could actually roll that in the 6th option. But find a way, the best card here is going to be the new premium card. I'm kind of itching to get my hands on that thing. This entire deck is free to play friendly.
Did a good job execution.
So I encourage players to go ahead and try to get all of these things, because when you get the collection, it does give you an additional 4% HP. Moving right along to the artifacts, we got Kahhori's artifact, or a 20% chance to dodge all attacks. So nothing new, similar to Spider-Man's artifact. For Wenwu, he gets the superhero supervillain damage with additional total instinct on each. And then for Katie, he's getting the supervillain damage and a frenzy buff of increase, or an all attack buff of 15%. And then for Lincoln Campbell, he's getting lightning resist conversion to damage. So increase lightning damage by 30% of lightning resist, and increase basic damage dealt to supervillains by 15%. We also got a new future pass coming in with the icon for Supernova Nebula uniform. I actually like that name. And then we got the new icon in the Mythic Pass for, so actually pretty dope. And this is what everything's looking like. I'm actually liking the Loki joint. Hoping I can get my hands on that. I'm hoping that's the free to play when this go around. And we also have the uniform collection, so it's probably not going to be a part 2 to this what if. We have some changes coming to the way that strikers are set and applied. It'll let you know if the striker is actually in use, and then if you actually click on the striker, this screen will pop up and it'll let you know that, hey, the striker is already equipped on Black Bolt. Would you like to strip that striker from Black Bolt and apply him on the current character? That's actually pretty dope. Nice quality of life change where you don't have to go in there and figure out, oh yeah, I got this striker equipped on this character, but I need him for this character, sort of thing. Not a fan of adding additional pop-ups to the game, but at least it's not a sale. Let's see, an option to consecutively upgrade a custom gear to the max has been added. I would say be careful with this thing so you don't burn through your materials. Anytime they add auto anything to the game, I'm kind of wary of that in terms of like auto upgrade, auto progress sort of stuff when it comes to like characters, gears, and that sort of thing, because you can burn through a lot of materials really, really quickly. We're also getting the conversion fragment going on. Now, long story short, basically what they're talking about here is you cannot use story fragments from one story and try to convert them to a story fragment of another story. So it all has to be contained within the same story. So future ends here. You can only convert from 1 through 9. Other future ends here, little puzzle pieces to be able to get the key to unlock the box and all that jazz. So I'd encourage everybody to take advantage of the story fragment farming and get those story fragments up. That way you can convert them to whatever. They also are going to have a guaranteed way to do this right here. So that's actually pretty darn dope.
Doing the thing here like nobody ever does before. Yeah.
It is a little bit more for the guaranteed conversion, but you don't have to worry about RNG and just throwing fragments in the trash and that sort of thing. They are also adding some quality of life stuff to the menu as far as the timeline survival, cosmic core, future pass, and faction battle, alternate game modes. I guess you're gonna have a setting where you can turn on or turn off whether or not those pop-ups here in the bottom right. I don't know why you would ever turn that stuff off. And then you also have the filter option quality of life change coming to alliance battle. So we're either gaining or losing some filters. So feature support filter that support type heroes, tier 2 skill and uniform effect of the participating hero has been added. So we're gonna have to wait and see and get in here and see exactly what these guys are talking about when it comes down to this stuff. Leader filter filters leader types with heroes.
Oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care if you got 23.
with applicable leaders, skills, and participating heroes has been added. This is some stuff that I think either in some way or form we already have in the game and other specs, and they're just bringing it to Alliance Battle, which is nice. Hope they get the filtering system accurate. Yeah, because we sort of have that in the game right now. So maybe they're sprucing it up a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. Certain parts of Team Up Collection have been improved. When processing more tokens, for the cost for the collection upgrade, a notification badge will be displayed. Shop button has been added. The Team Up Collection screen to check recommended products for each theme. Okay. The patterns of Surtur in Alliance Battle Legend Mode have been improved. The animation sequence has been added before Surtur begins the dash attack. Surtur's dash attack has been patternized. So kind of changing up the patterns of ABX will probably make it a little easier maybe to get a bit of a higher score. Sounds like he's going to be a little more predictable now. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The special boost hero warning pop-up screen has been improved to not display reset even after selecting do not show again. So a bunch more quality of life improvements and game mode fixes. The one other thing that I wanted to touch on is Captain Marvel. Certain conditions of the Captain Marvel artifact exclusive passive skill effect being incorrectly applied due to Captain Marvel's tier 2 passive skill option increase all buff effect has been fixed. So that's actually really nice. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'll go ahead and switch to the game and show you. So on Captain Marvel's tier 2 passive, because of the way that it's applied, it actually says that it increases all buff effects. But then when you look at her artifact kicks in off of a certain amount of HP. Well, it increased that amount of HP based on the buff applying to the artifact. And that was not that was not the original intention, right? So they actually fixed that. So now Captain Marvel's going to be able to access that buff a lot sooner, which is going to definitely help with our damage. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about everything that's coming to the game, the story fragment stuff, and some of the quality of life stuff. Would be nice to get more game modes, and they are also giving us that unlocking Kahhori through the old school dimension rifts that they're bringing back. Hopefully we get something for the mid-month as far as a game mode is concerned. And you know, y'all definitely let me know what y'all think about Nebula here being changed from a super villain to a superhero. And yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.